help, if I can help you do that, let me know if you need it.
Well, I mean,
Because I don't really know much about that stuff yet. So like, but if there's a way that I can help you, I absolutely will. You know what I
well,
mean?
one of the things about YouTube is it really likes regularity. The algorithm really wants you to have a regular thing that you do. It doesn't really care if you do it once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a day, however you do
Yeah.
it. It wants you to be regular about it.
Yeah.
If I had the guests, I'll do 3 shows a week. If I have the topics, I'll do 3 shows a week without a guest. But for the most part, I got 1 show a week I do that has a guest, and it's the only one I'm really restreaming like this is Sasquatch Shills. All previous guests can come in. I think I can stream a maximum of 6 at a time, so it's kind of a first come, first serve option.
That's cool.
Stream out, the Sasquatch Shills happens, and it goes to multiple channels, and it's cool beans as far as I'm concerned. I'm not trying to monetize it, so I'm not losing nothing the way I see it.
No, you're getting more exposure.
Yep.
My thing should be linked now. I'm not positive, but I just went back to it again.
It popped up. It finally popped up. Yeah. All right. So let's get started with your show. So
all right.
I have your most recent upload set up here, and it's not. Wait, maybe it's not. Did I get them wrong? I bet I got them wrong. I didn't relaunch.
It don't matter.
It kind of does.
That's old. That's one of my first ones.
That probably is your very first one. Okay, since I've already screwed the pooch, we're going to go with that instead. How about that?
Right? Yeah, this one's not that exciting, but it's just cops. It was an overdose at a gas station.
Well, I went and dug up your first upload for a reason. It's the thing I do. See, I'm a YouTube paleontologist.
I like that.
Yes, I'm a paleontologist. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Dynamite in this bag too.
I am a paleontologist.
Dude, you're awesome.
I'm a paleontologist. Paleontologists study really old stuff.
Like crackers.
Because bad movies are funny.
Absolutely right. So here's your very first video that you publicly available video that's on your channel.
Yep. Chaplin, Connecticut. At its best. All these cops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars for 2 people, 3 people on drugs. Don't do drugs in public. Do drugs
Solid advice.
I even look at how I held my phone back then. I even held my phone the wrong way.
Yeah, I see you've learned some things. That's good to see. We're growing. That's what we're doing here.
It's true.
No, it's basic cop watch. You found a bunch of cop cars. You watched them. Good job.
Yeah, I grew up there. That's where I grew up. That was like where the town I grew up in.
Now almost 11. So 3 hours. Now lucky they didn't fucking die.
Super duper.
But
no, I really did older videos.
Yeah.
They tickle me because you see where people came from on that thing, on that type of stuff. You know, a lot of people get their very first upload, whatever it was. They're like, "Oh, well, I just did a video," and that was the thing. I did a video and I didn't really think about it, but it got a little traction, and so I did another one. But the second one is usually something you care about, right?
Yeah, a little more.
Whatever this is, and then you've got an idea of where you want to point the camera, and I love to watch that growth. It's amazing.
If you watch, dude, when I first started, I would stand like 30 feet away from the cops and tape them from like, because I just didn't know what to do. Like I was nervous, like, and you could see the progression throughout the video. Like the newer videos, you could just tell that I'm not scared of them. So, but
I mean, as long as you got them on camera, they can't exactly jump you. They're alive.
I mean, it still happens though, dude. I've had it happen in the 10 months I've been doing this. 1, 2, like 3 times now. Like I've been assaulted 4 times by them. I got an officer suspended right now in New London, Connecticut for 7 days for pushing me around the parking lot last year.
All right. Which one is 3 years probation for this? This is like what, 8 months ago? 9 months
ago? This was it was November. So it was like 6 months. This was actually an arrest. This was, I worked, I got out of work early and I went to New Britain Police Department and this is what happened. And this is crazy.
Did it just pause itself?
It might have. This one you might, if you wanted, I'd skip ahead to like 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes are just me walking around, or maybe not.
Well,
No, I guess not. This is the other one. So it starts quick here, I guess.
yeah.
So you start it wherever.
That is weird. It just automatically pauses itself.
I've seen it.
Possessed. I don't know if I need an electrician or a priest.
Both.
Yeah, probably.
Dude, they set the car alarms there off on me. Like they sat there and would hit the buttons and set the car alarms off.
That would seem to be some form of harassment to me.
Me too. And it's not like it happened once. I've been there like 3 times and they've done it. Like the last time I was there, they had like 3 car alarms going off at once. And then when they arrested me, they used it against me. Oh, the car alarm was going off. I didn't set no car alarm off.
We have the Constitution State in tonight. This is who we're discussing his channel. We're going to talk about his content. I've got a bit of after dark data on police chases, police pursuits, right? And I want to ask you this.
Yep.
Do you think police pursuits are a threat to public safety?
Absolutely.
Is there any case where a police pursuit is justified?
I mean, I would say maybe if there's a murderer that somebody just saw commit a murder, you know what I mean? Like, no, but you really can't draw the line because then they'll do back and forth. So I'm going to say no altogether because, you know what I mean? If you meet them somewhere in the middle, they're just going to abuse it. Johnny Bravo, what up?
Absolutely, man. We got a non-mouse in the house, Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, they're good people.
I kind of based my Sasquatch character off of partly off of the Johnny Bravo character from the cartoons. Sort of a mix between Johnny Bravo and Andrew Dice Clay. I'm not vulgar, but I'm very, very insinuative to vulgarity. Vulgar adjacent.
It just happens, though.
Got Blue Lives Matter. Good to see you, bud. Rebecca Oliver. Now they're just kind of popping up randomly. That's kind of weird. Okay, we're going to have to get used to this. This is going to take some doing. Because I'm not used to there being 65 people in chat. Holy schmackerel. My chat has pretty much just jammed on it.
I know. I keep seeing it. That's good. I don't even usually get that many. Sometimes I do.
Well, I've got it strung across 4 channels.
Oh, yeah. So you're putting in work.
I think it counts all of them.
That's cool.
That is cool stuff. All right. So, and this will also let me do other things. This is something else I do for guests. If you want to do a show and you don't have the ability to run the media, I can come in as a silent partner and run the media while you talk to the guest or whatever. And you just got to have all the links ready for me.
Like we did with the Mata thing.
Exactly like we did with the Mata thing, except usually I don't even really participate. I
know. We needed you to that day. But no, I'll definitely. That's awesome. I don't know anybody else that does it.
There's a few. And usually we don't exactly advertise it because, sometimes it can get really busy.
Oh, yeah.
Random Saturday night, 5 different previous guests go live and they all want somebody to show media. If I can time it out right, I'll skip my live stream and do it. But sometimes they're all go live at like 4 o'clock at the same time. So what's up, Irish Rover? Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, Irish Rover is awesome. That's cool. You do a lot of stuff.
Well, I mean, I've got a couple of different formats for shows too. I do you can do like a pre-recorded thing.
Yep.
Or like I send you some questions, you answer them, and then I edit it into a show, and we go from there. There's a few ways.
That's awesome.
But mainly, what I'm trying to do is promote other people's channels. Specifically, if I can, First Amendment protections of any description. I don't care why you protect my rights.
Yeah.
I thank you for doing it.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you do it badly, even if you do it wrong, you're still trying. Yeah. I respect the effort.
That's how I feel. There's a lot of people that will judge other people, and I think it actually kind of creates some animosity between people in the community sometimes just because of that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm kind of on the same page as you.
I have seen a lot of it. I've seen people who did very well together as a group,
Yep.
as a team, so to
Yep.
speak. But then their personal issues became an issue and split that team up, and they just don't add up to as much separately. That's
Yeah.
nothing against them personally on either side.
Yeah.
It's, together y'all are really good. Separately, you're decent.
Yeah. It sucks when that happens.
It happens. I mean, you can't judge it too hard. People have things. Michelle Mobile Media, you're one of the best YouTubers out there, honey. You do cop watching hardcore.
That's
you do
awesome.
it right. You do it just right. Have you checked out her channel?
I've seen some. I can't lie. I haven't seen too much, but I've seen some of it.
All right. Her and Truth Be Told,
Yep.
quite often are out there together, and that's what you need. You need a little backup when you're out there. It's the thing.
I couldn't agree more with you. It's so hard. I don't know. I had, like, in my earlier videos, I had a kid that would come with me. He didn't even record. He was just my boy. He'd come hang out for the day. And then he ended up moving and stuff. And yo, I can't get anybody to go out with me. Like, rarely. Like, just the other day, I went and met with Leroy Truth Investigations, and we drove up to Long Island and met Brooklyn Audits up there and audited a town hall up there. And yo, I can't even lie, that was probably the most fun I've had yet auditing. Like, in a group like that with other, like, it was so much fun.
That's another part of it. If you're doing YouTube, initially most people don't experience the type of success you've experienced. I mean, you and I started our channel a few weeks apart, and you're doing a much more intense and interactive type of channel than I'm doing. Mine has scheduled shows, and we do this thing, and I read some stuff, and I narrate some things, and I record for other people. You go out there just about every other day or so and actually go climbing the cops' cheese and grits.
Yeah. I put a lot of effort into it. Like, a lot. Even the cops say it. They're like, dude, you're out here all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you're a force to be reckoned with because of your camera and because of your following that you have. If they do get out of line, people know about it.
Yeah.
They are aware. And that is a cool and powerful force. I love it. I absolutely love it.
That's one of the best things about it, to be honest, because you know what? You know just as well as I do, dude, that when I go down there and complain and I go down there and say something, nothing happens. Even if I go down there with a valid complaint and a valid, like, they broke the law, they broke policy, anything, they'll literally write me back and say, oh, it didn't affect anything. And when other people start calling and complaining, that's when they start listening. They never listen to one of us.
Right. In person, it's almost like you're powerless, because in person, you walk in, you file a complaint, you hand them the paper, and they throw it away.
Oh, yeah.
So it works better when there's an actual documentation, a verification, when you call and you leave your name and number, and it makes a trail. That works better than being in person in some cases.
Yeah, absolutely.
The stance about to control you. No, you see her, right? He's right. She has that full on, I'm just trying not to grab my gun stance.
Yes. Dude, they were brutal, bro. But you know what? This is what's so crazy is I couldn't figure out why they approached me like they approached me. And I couldn't figure out a lot of things of why they went down. And when I got the police report, it made a little more sense, because earlier in the video, you seen the dude that was in the plain clothes. He approached me and he said, you can't cross this gate, right? And I pointed at the sign and I said, yeah. And he said, okay. And he turned around and he walked away and he said, oh, we had a rough day. Something like that. Well, he went and told them that he asked me to leave, and I refused, and I was being a dick. And that I followed those other ladies to their car. Like, there was a bunch of crazy stuff. So that's why they approached like they did. But that's also why they got the reaction they got out of me. Because, I mean, I get what I give. I don't care who it is.
And to be clear, even if you didn't, to be absolutely clear, it is their policy to be courteous.
Oh, yeah.
Now, locally here, we have, I know most of my cops, but there's this policy they do. If you get pulled over by a state trooper in Georgia, before he says anything else, he will say, "Hello, my name is Officer such and such." He'll name his badge number, he'll name his car number, then he'll tell you why he pulled you over. He'll say the reason for the stop is. If that doesn't happen, you've got a problem.
Oh yeah.
If you don't hear that come out immediately, right? Then it's an
AFA.
issue. You got everybody in here, man.
What up, bro? I see you. Appreciate you. You're right though, and Swine too. There's a bunch of people.
I'm telling you, you got everybody, man. The only person missing is Joe Cool.
Is he in here?
No, he's not. I haven't seen him yet. But now that I've said his name once, he may appear. If you say it 3 times on the live stream and post the live stream link, he magically appears in the he doesn't even know he was there.
Yeah, I know. He just shows up.
He just shows up. Yeah.
He does it. I see him randomly. He comes in every now and then. Like it's just a random appearance, and then I don't see him again for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna say it. I love that man. Yes, I do. Yeah, baby. I want his laugh as a ringtone.
Oh,
actually,
that's where they arrested me.
My old phone, I have his laugh as a ringtone. So what they do here, they just shackle you up, take you in.
The supervisor gets out of the car and he goes to the female officer, and when the audio's up, you can hear her tell him, "We don't know if he did or didn't do it." And they're talking about trespassing. Well, the plainclothes dude is inside checking the cameras right now, which is going to tell them that I didn't trespass. So she tells him they don't know, and he says whatever, and he just comes over. Look, he's putting his gloves on. He's arrested me. He knew he was going to arrest me before he got there. She's telling him right now, we don't know if he did it.
An absolutely dead signal. If you see a cop put his gloves on, immediately take. That is serious. That's when ATL was at the where was he at? He was at the DA's office, right?
Yeah.
And he had one cop come out, tell him he couldn't record. You've got to leave. Yada yada yada. He didn't have his gloves on. Then he turns around, steps around a corner, comes back and tells him, "Look, you got to leave." And I was like, "ATL, get out of there right now." That man has his gloves on. He's fixing to put his hands on you.
Oh yeah.
And he wanted to. You could see it in his face.
Oh yeah. It's every time I've seen them put them gloves on, dude, they've assaulted me.
Absolutely.
That's a fact. It's a fact.
Right.
I don't think I've been assaulted with them once, without them once. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, officer safety.
Well, then they had 3 like high ups, like people in the department came out. So there's like 6 officers there, dude. And I even asked them, I'm like, dude, you guys allow this? And they're like, oh, they're just doing their job. I'm like, what? You guys are clowns.
But I'll tell you, if you had a doctor that was doing his job as effectively as cops, he'd be sued for malpractice. If you had a baker that was doing his job as badly as cops perform, wouldn't have a bakery. He would be fired. If you had a customer service person that interacted with you the way cops interact with citizens, they would be fired on the spot. And so when people say it's just a few bad apples, I get a little upset with them, because the saying is one bad apple spoils the bunch.
Yep.
You don't get to pick and choose your apples just to get the least bad ones that are there. You scrap the batch and you work from the beginning again.
I couldn't agree more. And like with that, there's always cops that I'm like, oh, I feel like that's a decent dude, that's a decent cop. And then later I'm thinking, and I'm like, he's seen another cop do some BS and didn't stop him. So is he really a good cop?
That's the issue I have with the term good cop. Their mere presence and awareness of illegal activity taking place in the police department makes them culpable and leaves them unaccountable.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's so hard to hold them accountable. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? I got to work my way up the ladder because none of this stuff's working.
Well, I mean, that's what ATL did. That's one of the reasons I love his channel. Him and for public safety. ATL is going step by step through every single organization in Atlanta until he gets every single one of them involved in his case.
Yeah.
That's his purpose. He wants investigation. He wants transparency. For public safety is doing a similar type of job with a similar type of goal, except he's going about it kind of from the top down perspective and multifaceted. He's actually put like a broad spectrum of people to work on this concept. He has, for public safety, has videos on how to fill out a complaint form, how to fill out a federal complaint form, the things you don't know how to do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it.
Me too. To me, that's one of the best channels. You know what I mean? That's important stuff that a lot of people don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Normal people don't know how to do.
And the things happen to them. Oh my God, dude. If you roll in on my house like that, you're liable to catch lead before you get through the door. I'm sorry. I was raised in the country. That might be a bear.
Yep.
And I will send your mama the cleaning bill to my rugs.
Yeah, you're right. And it's pathetic. It really is. Like, it just disappoints me. Because, like, growing up, I was raised to believe that cops are leaders of the community. You know what I mean? Like examples. And I don't see none of that.
Yeah. Now, I mean, now that's not to say there are absolutely no such thing as good cops. There are cops in a bad position that are doing the best they can do.
Did you see the cops that went into Missouri, the school? Did you see that video?
See, exactly. Good cops.
Like,
people
dude, the one I saw, the dude showed up, got out of his car, was like, yo, I need 3 dudes, got 3 dudes, and ran in that building with his AR and smoked that dude.
First 3 dudes.
Yeah, that wasn't they were like, this isn't going to be you, Vlad.
Right.
Like, they went right in. I was really impressed with that. Like, I can't front. That was awesome.
The only issue I have with taking up that type of a role in a situation like that is the fact that because I'm not in uniform, I will be the very first target they shoot at.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So even if you happen to be in a place like that, like certain malls that are no gun zones, and all schools are. So, you know, these people have realized if you want to use a gun to cause carnage, go to a gun-free zone, take your gun.
Yep. I mean, at this point, they should just put like veterans that are retired in every school.
I'm not 100% adverse to that. I don't quite ascribe to the concept. I think they should, and this is going to sound ironic. I mean, I love the veterans. I really do. I support our military. I'm 100%. My father is an airborne ranger. I'm completely behind the concept. They, of course, need to be vetted.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because...
no, you're right. I didn't think about that part.
I have a rather unnerving uncle.
That's a very good point.
So, I mean, there's a certain amount of issue with that. It's just not with it specifically. It's with the individuals.
Yeah.
Some people are suited for it. But the people who are, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Give them a job.
It's real. Oh, they told me they were arresting me right here for not giving them my name and answering their questions. I was interfering.
Yeah, I hate to get that part wrong.
Yeah, well, then in the police report, they said I was trespassing, and they accused me of I tried to leave twice, and they stopped me both times. So, like, I wasn't trespassing. You were refusing to let me leave.
Hey, Jot, is that number right? Because I'm not registering nothing like that.
Well, I can't see any of it. I can see the chat, but I can't see any numbers.
Okay, my bad. I misread it. My bad.
Oh, okay.
For subscriber count, not the number of people watching. Because
is that for public safety in here?
Yeah, we got for public safety in here.
What up, bro?
Misconducts in here. We got painful 13. That's actually harder to say than I thought it would be.
I know.
Irish Rover. We got a bunch of folks, and I don't know if I guess some of yours are popping up too, aren't they? Yeah.
They gotta be.
They have to be because I've been showing them. All right, cool. And y'all go check out ATL. My man's fighting the real fight in Atlanta, and he is in the middle of the good old boy capital. Like, this is where they invented that trash.
Really?
The people he's fighting against are the fire department, not because they're involved, but because they involved themselves. The police department, not because they did anything, but because they didn't do anything. the school police units, which apparently don't have any oversight whatsoever that's not directly related to the Department of Education, he couldn't find anybody that they answered to. No one. The chief said it wasn't them. The sheriff said it wasn't them. All the police departments said that the school police were separate and nobody could be responsible for the school police. And that upset me. When I heard that, that's when I got involved and I got him on the show and I got him in here to come talk about it. And he's always welcome back because he's putting in the good fight. Really.
That's awesome. I like what you do because you get to talk to a lot of different people. Like when I first started out, I didn't have like nobody to talk to. I mean, I got a bunch of people I talk to now, but like you get to meet everybody and you really look into their stuff. Like that's cool.
Oh, I do. I dig through usually with people like you that do live streams regularly. I'll get in the live stream for a few weeks before I even mention and have it a channel.
Yeah.
You know, an idea of what's going on, what kind of thing you do, you know.
Yeah. Do your research.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't.
It's smart though. That makes the show better. Like that's what I'm going to tell you. That makes the show better.
Well, thank you. I try. I mean, I'm with for public safety over here on this one. Let the staff be armed.
Me too. I saw that.
My sister's in a school right now, and she's one of the greatest shots and fastest draws I've ever seen in my life. In my life, she is faster than me and better than I am at that particular function.
I agree. Why not?
Well, I can tell you why not. Have you ever gone and looked at some of the people that are in these schools?
Yeah.
Running around with the green hair and the wireframe glasses, dressing up like Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what side of the aisle they're sitting on, but definitely the left.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I don't necessarily want those people to have guns. They seem unstable.
No, I think like you said before, it would have to be a vetted process. Like not just everybody in school can get it. I think there should be, you know what I mean? There's got to be one fit person in each school, hopefully, that we could train, you know what I mean? Put them through the course, or whatever they got to do in that state and get it done.
The final complaint I have about school resource police is if you notice, your school resource officers almost always end up being some barely able to walk retiree just about out of the department, or some brand new hire that's too short, too heavy, too wide, too narrow, too thin, too light, too something to be a beat cop. And so they end up being stuck in as a school resource officer. And I don't think it's the best people for the job, man. I don't have anything against them. I'm just
here. You want my point of view on that, real quick? Our local department, like where I live, we have the Willimantic. Like I deal with them the most, just because they're the closest, and I have the most beef with them from stuff from the past. But like that, I'm trying to work out with them. But their school resource officer, dude, in my opinion, is probably the worst cop in that department. Officer Rosado. He's a supervisor and he's the school resource officer. He is a trash, like, and I don't just want to come on and say bad about somebody, but like, and I usually won't say like as bad. I try not to, but in my, like, he's just that bad, dude. Like I feel like he's literally the worst person for the job to deal. He can't even deal with adults. What makes you think he could deal with kids?
Right. And
like,
a lot of times these people already have problems with their record. They've just been sealed. You know, that's part of the reason why they are a school resource officer, because nothing's supposed to happen over there.
Yep. Yeah.
But when it does, you end up with a situation like Uvalde, apparently, rather than, what was it, Minnesota? I think it was Minnesota. Michigan? I don't know.
Which one?
The most recent one.
Oh. It's, dude, get this. One day I was in there filing a complaint on him and he walked through and I said something to him. And he started calling me a snitch because I was putting a complaint in on him.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't even have my camera on. I FOIA'd their cameras and they gave it to me.
Well, I mean, they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Georgia, as far as I've been able to determine, in Georgia, you're not often denied camera footage if it's available. It happens occasionally, like with ATL, he requested camera footage from inside a school and they flat said no. right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he got that footage or not, but I know he didn't like the way that turned out, and he was going up there to deal with it.
Yeah.
So I'd like to get him in.
Connecticut's pretty hard, dude. I can't even lie. Like they, um, the first time I went to court for that video we just watched, um, they arrested the kid I went with, who's another local auditor that was going to like pretty much help me. Like he's been doing it a lot longer, so he was like coming for support. We went through the marshal saw a state statute in his pocket, a Connecticut state statute, and said, "Oh, are you an oath keeper?" And he was like, "No." And then he's like, "You can't have your phone in here." And he was like, "What?" And he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "I didn't give you my name." Then the dude looked in a drawer and then repeated his name and was like, "I need your phone." And he gave him the phone, and he got mad because I told him I'd let him call the boss from my phone, his boss from my phone. And they arrested him, and then they kicked me out of court, and then they sent me a letter like I missed court on purpose. Like I was there. It was crazy. It's nuts.
It is, and the amount of power these resource officers bring to the table are absurd. I had an event take place where someone was assaulted at school, after school, and I went to go pick up my daughter. And when I walked in, the lady looked at me and she says, "Oh, she's a little busy right now. She'll be out in a few minutes." And I'd already waited, 15 minutes. Everyone else had already left. There's nothing but like 3 or 4 cars left. And we got out and talked and was like, "What do you reckon is going on? We don't know, blah, blah, blah." So I went over. So they're like, "Oh, well, they're back there talking to the cops right now." And I said, "Show me." She's, "Well, they'll be done." I said, "Show me right now. You show me where my daughter is talking to a cop right this minute. If you show me my daughter is talking to a cop without some form of legal representation, we're going to have a further conversation about this. Show me immediately."
Yeah, without you. Why weren't you notified?
Exactly. I was there. I was present. She picked up her radio and told her to turn loose Ivy immediately. And she come walking out of the office like immediately.
Good for you, dude.
The rest of them, they all sat in there and talked and did whatever they were doing. And when my daughter gets in the car, she looks at me, she goes, "What did you do to get them to let me go?" And I was like, "Well, I told them that I needed to be present for any questioning, and that I was already upset that I wasn't present."
Yep.
Just the fact that we were already there, we were in the parking lot, we were all standing around waiting for the kids to come out, and something happened.
And well, it's just nuts that they wouldn't tell you, and they were doing it on purpose. That's why they released her right away. They didn't even question you. You know what I mean?
Was trying to run block on the parents getting hold to their children before whatever it was they were doing. And I asked her, I said, "Did you have a chance to talk to him?" She's like, "Well, I gave him my name." And I said, "Fine, but listen, the next time one of these officers come up here and want to talk to you for any reason, you tell them you can't discuss anything without either me or your mother present."
Absolutely.
Lawyer will have one present ASAP, immediately, just as soon as I can make the phone call.
Oh yeah. Listen, I want to look at Brooklyn Audits is in here. What up, bro? I see him.
Man.
He is. Have you looked at his stuff?
Oh yes, I have. He's been up on the panel a couple of times. I haven't gotten him in for a show yet, but I want to.
He's a good man. I went out with him the other day. I like him a lot. Like I can't wait to go do something else with him. It was so much fun.
There's another one of my baby boys there. I like his stuff.
Yeah,
he's real about it too. He like goes up and talks to each and every one of them sometimes.
Oh yeah,
he takes the do it. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
And he don't back down. He's cool. He's weird. He's a good dude.
Absolutely. The 420 network. Good to see you, bud.
Oh yeah, so many people.
Yeah, no, I'm having trouble keeping up over here because I'm trying to get the ones in other chat rooms up on the screen, and it's just not rightly working out for me. Yeah. It's going fast, man, way too fast. Lawyer parents now. Exactly. Yep. Lawyer parents now. Hello, Geoffrey.
Oh, yeah. He's in here. What up, bro?
James Locklear. Like, I could sit here and do this all night. I'm not even joking. But guess what? All right. So I got one last bit I want to talk to you about, and then we'll wrap it up, and we'll let everybody come up and have their own say about the situation. And I've got a bit about police pursuits coming up. Somebody went and dug up all the data on how effective pursuits are.
Yeah.
All right. So you occasionally do this sort of reaction style setup that you've got going on here, where you
Yep.
bring up cases where, like in this case, how is it? Off-duty cop shoots and kills Marine's family's dog and says he's proud of it.
Yep.
And you can do the full breakdown on the video. I love that stuff. I love
Do
it.
you? I'm glad, because I wasn't sure, dude. And like, it's hard to choose videos because everybody does the same videos. So I try not to like do stuff that everybody else has done. But like when I find something like this, dude, this needs to be shared. Like, even though the case is done and everything's done, dude, just people need to see this, because this happens, dude. Police do these things. And that dude, that man, if you've listened to the video itself, that man's like, what are you, a cop? And he's like, yeah. And then when he's walking away, he's like, oh, I'm proud I shot your dog. Like, what?
Mm. Mm.
And I can't find what happened to him after. Like, I know they charged him, but I can't find the conclusion of the case. And he resigned. He didn't get fired, so he might be somewhere else. I just can't find it yet. Like, I don't know.
Safety's got a good one there. We created a secret code word for our kids that they require prior to answering questions from any staff.
That's awesome. That's a good idea.
Brilliant. Greetings, Liberty Blair. Welcome to the show, bud. Good to see
Yeah.
you. We got a
Well,
bunch of people in here tonight. There's Ace. It's really hard to catch up with individual comments. They just rolling. But all right. So reaction show, cool beans.
appreciate it.
I like your choice. I like your choices because, like you said, you do things that aren't generally done by other people. Although don't undersell things that are done by other people, right?
No, I'm not. It's just, you know what I mean? It's kind of unique to find something else.
But keep this in mind. There are a whole bunch of different auditors out there, and everybody has different ways of going about it and different ways of talking about it.
Absolutely.
And you might say something looking at one of those old videos. You might say something that cracks the book open on it. You might notice some tidbit or recognize some aspect of it. You know? It's just like when you're looking for missing people. You want to put it in front of as many eyes as get as many reactions as you can as fast as possible.
No, you're right.
That's the best way to go about it. So when we're doing a very broad-based approach to First Amendment advocacy, whether you're filming a location or you're filming a cop in the course of his duties or whatever it is you're doing, whether you're cop watching or whatever, right?
Yep.
The point is to get it in front of as many people as possible, so that if any one of those people that sees it has that tidbit of information needed to unlock that problem.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a brilliant thing. It's an amazing thing. You know what you've done?
Huh.
You did a show.
Good.
You did the whole thing. Proud of you.
Thank you. I'm glad. I was waiting. I knew because I told you, remember we did the thing. I'm like, I hope one day I could go on there. You know what I mean? And then you hit me up. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it means you made it when some random dude with 100 subscribers asked you to come on the show. You big time, huh?
It's, I don't know. Like, people say a lot. Like, I feel like I get not judged, but people like always look at my subscribers and like, oh, he's got a lot. Like, 2 months ago, I didn't have that many. And like, I feel like people look at me just because I have more, that maybe I've been doing this longer. Like, I'm still new. Like, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still out here struggling. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to help the next person and stand up for our rights. You know what I mean?
A warning. I'll part with this warning.
Yep.
You walk around in the real world. You film real world activities. It is very easy for that situation to get your channel struck down. Whether it's somebody riding by playing a song or a cop up and doxing somebody directly to your camera specifically to have it took down.
Yeah.
Type of stuff adds up and YouTube notices it. So be careful when you're doing your live streams, when you're doing your walk around. Just try to keep that.
No, thank you for that, because that's solid advice. I just started doing more live streams too, like recently. I didn't do so many before, but then I did like one and everybody loved it. So I just started doing it.
You do really good stuff. I like the way you interact with just about everybody when you're traveling through the area. And I've got maybe 5 or 6 YouTubers that I've been talking to that live in that general area.
Yep.
And they're not all auditors. Some of them are just panel streamers, and some of them, they do different stuff. All right, so I'm going to drive you backstage for about 3 minutes. I'm going to do my little talk out, my little sing out, and then we'll be done. I'll bring everybody back up. We can all stare at each other, act funny, or whatever it is we do. All right.
I'm down.
One last little tidbit.
Yep.
You tell everybody that it's been a great day.
Oh, it has been. I mean, I worked all day, but I looked forward to this, man. I'm happy we did this. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming up, and I will see you again in about 3 minutes or so. All right.
I'll be here.
All right, bud. Appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, you have found the end of Sasquatch Shills. Now, this is where we put everybody backstage, pretend like the show ends, and then we go into the After Dark session, which has a little bit of a topic to it. Tonight, we're going to discuss police pursuits and whether or not they have any purpose whatsoever. Is there an acceptable point at which a group of cops can just go tear hell assing around the town and go kill 5 or 6 people trying to catch one guy who ran a stop sign? Don't know that there is. Short of him hanging out of the windows, firing off shots randomly, I don't think they should chase them. Just let them go and pick them up when they get home. Right? That's my assumption. But I appreciate y'all coming, and I love each and every one of y'all like a brother and a sister. So I'm going to go out with the, we're going to do the classic one. $1, $1.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Absolutely. That's going to start over. Why is it starting over? Don't do it. Don't start over. There we go. All right. We get everybody in here. I think we're looking at the ceiling. Carrie, do you want in at all or not? It's up to you, bud. Wait, I was supposed to end your stream 30 minutes through. I'm sorry, I forgot. You didn't remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want in? Okay. All right, so allow me to introduce everyone. Above you right here is AJOT, American Justice of Texas. She operates, of course, out of Texas. Below you, you have mandatory carry, a person who believes that every single American should not only be issued a gun, but should be forced to carry them.
Yes.
Mandatory.
Close enough.
Carry.
Close enough.
So now that everyone knows, the private chat works. Me, you, and anybody backstage can. I think we just left.
Back.
Wrong button.
Wrong button, bud.
Back.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button.
I know. The private chat works by letting me, mandatory carry, AJOT, and you see our private chat. Everyone.
Okay. I thought it was, but she said I was behind before, so I was like, oh, did I miss it?
Oh, I was talking about Caucasian was behind highlighting. Chat.
Oh, all right. I was confused. I thought I was behind looking at it, so I was like, wait, what?
Dude, I broke 80 people in here at one point.
How many?
80 people in here.
Good stuff.
That beats my my previous best stream by 25.
That's probably my best. I don't even remember. I think that is my best.
Absolutely fantastic. Okay.
You had like half of them yourself, sirs.
That was not Constitution State's the one who brought all the people, man. I just had like 12 or 14 over here. My usual. But I think we all get a piece of that time. So
absolutely.
I don't know how that works. I have no idea how that works, but we'll find out. That's why I'm doing this, is to see how it breaks up and distributes, whether you might get the ones that were on your channel and he might get the ones that was on his channel. I don't know. We're going to look at it and find out. You got to check, right?
Get it done.
Oh, cool. Trevor, good to see you, bud. I'm going to get back to managing my stuff. I've got a little bit of a video over here that hopefully I've never had a problem with it before, but I've never done Vsauce before. But okay, so somebody went and dug up the statistics on police pursuits. How many pursuits end in death? How many pursuits end in crashes versus pursuits that are successfully resolved without damage, right? Which is very, very rare. Almost always something breaks, right? So we're going to take a look-see at this. We're going to take about 8 minutes at the beginning. I'm sure there's an ad in here. I really can't control that kind of stuff. The concept at this part is mostly a reaction show, but I brought the media. I've seen it. I know that it's at least copacetic for YouTube and not graphic. That's basically the prerequisites for it. So before we get started, what do you think, each of you, about high-speed pursuits, about police pursuits specifically?
I want to go last.
I'll go first. I don't agree with them. I would like to say that certain situations could be acceptable, but I feel like if, like I said before, if we do that, it'll just be abused. You know what I mean? That I don't know. Anytime we try to meet them in the middle, they abuse it. So, and like where I live, growing up, one of the kids in my town got killed in a pursuit. Like the cops were chasing him on a dirt bike, and he crossed a road and got hit by a truck and like dragged under the truck for like 30 feet and died. So I don't really agree with it. Like there's nothing that serious. There's way more petty crime that they're out there chasing that they don't need to be chasing than real crime. And
Right.
it doesn't add up the way, you know what I mean? If we weigh that out, it's probably 80 times more petty. They're chasing people for nothing. Really, half the times literally a misdemeanor, or you know what I mean, a petty felony. Like, you know who they are, you can get them later. They're not going to go out and kill somebody.
Absolutely. Hey, Jot, you're up.
I agree what he's saying. I mean, most of the time, by the time they're in a speed chase, they have enough information that they can go find them later. I mean, they've done it before. There's no sense on risking, people's lives and everything.
Agreed. Carrie?
I'm going to tell you two stories. First one was, have any of you ever seen those signs on divided highways that say divided highway?
Yeah.
Yeah? You know the ones I'm talking about? H.O.?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Those signs are called Cynthia George signs. Cynthia George was a 30-something-year-old woman in the Reading area back in the mid-1980s. She lived in the area her entire life, back before State Route 273 had been built, and it was still Highway 99, which was a two-lane, two-way road. SR 273 is now a four-lane divided highway. She pulls out of the old Oak Grove bar, which tells you it couldn't have been before 92, I think. Anyway, she turns left into the northbound lane, so she's going against traffic. Proceeds to go north with her headlights off. She did this because she had been arrested numerous times on drunk driving charges. She ran at a combined speed of over 100 miles an hour in her pickup truck right into three teenagers, two seniors and a sophomore, I think, who were headed southbound in the number one lane. And, she decapitated the girls in the front seat, and the boy, the sophomore, finally died 15 years later. What was that you were saying about misdemeanors and petty shit?
All right. So I agree. I agree with the Constitution state right here, and I'll explain. 99% of car chases are derived from a standard traffic violation traffic stop. Half of those traffic stops are trumped up, which means 30% or so of the car chases, all of the pursuit chases, are completely trumped up charges in the initial pullover. A lot of those cases are unjustified stops, and they lead to a car chase that can kill multiple people and total out thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment, property.
You're saying that 1 out of every 3 cops is a liar.
I'm saying that they pull over people based on gut feeling and not necessarily evidence. And while I'll go with a hunch and a heartbeat, I don't really think we should be establishing our justice system on your gut.
So 1 out of every 3 cops is lying, is what you're saying.
I might go a little higher than that in some cases. Depends on the yes.
Okay, if you have that little faith in cops, then that is a very scary thing.
Well, how'd they get to be a cop? You don't think they smoke weed? You know, you can't be a cop if you ever smoke weed.
Yeah, actually you can't.
Maybe
you know
in some
why I couldn't be a cop?
You couldn't forever and a day. You can't be a cop if you do mushrooms because you're listed as being insane.
No, that's true. You know why I can't be a cop?
Yes, sir.
Isn't cops dying in car crashing like one of the leading ways cops die?
Yes.
Right, and that is in the line of duty. Now, once they're off duty but on duty, cops dying, car crashes is the primary method of death.
Yeah, that's what I thought but I wasn't 100%.
It's number 2. Oh, you know the reason I can't be a cop?
I got a few guesses, but tell me the real reason.
The original reason, the first problem, I had not smoked pot before I was 18 years old. No cop would believe me. And to underscore that point all the way, when I was finally trying to get on with Sacramento Police Department, some lady got into an argument with the background investigator when she said, Guy, that was his name, Guy, my friend's got a problem. Yeah, sure. Your friend, right? He's never done drugs in his life, and nobody believes him. Guy says, I don't believe you either. Or I don't believe your friend either. Excuse me, that's what he said. She proceeded to argue with him for like a minute. He finally got fed up and said, oh, okay. I want to meet your friend. She said, well, it's my husband, and he's sitting right here. And she pointed to the man sitting next to him.
Huh.
Hey,
welcome to the show, bud.
A thing?
Did you bring your chips?
I hadn't smoked pot.
Did you bring your chips for the show, ATL? Do you got something crunchy for us? Okay. Good man. All right. So this is the Constitution state over here. This is ATL. I don't know why he picks these names. That's why I don't put them on the screen.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
I think it's hilarious.
Trying to come up with something different,
But I thought your mama did that for you.
Walter Seibach sounds like an aristocrat of some sort.
That's okay. He's hiding our names because of me.
Do you blame him?
You got a potty mouth?
Oh, son.
Oh, I'll play backstage.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
That's okay. The tales I could tell you about this man.
Oh, yes, you could.
Oh, Lord. But no, yeah, he's got a little bit of a potty mouth when he gets a little bit inebriated. He'll go off and all the wrong
sober.
Yeah, good. That gives a hope.
That I might not drop.
Are you still on YouTube?
Bomb? Yes, sir. We are still live.
Hope that I might not drop a few actual F-bombs and not just say fuck, you mean?
Fuck you, Carrie.
Go fuck yourself, Carrie.
Fuck.
All right, everybody feel better now.
All right.
Yeah.
That out of our
second story now. Uh-oh. Carrie's got a second story, guys. Second story is the Jane Abbott crash, which was also in Redding, California. Jane Abbott was a deaf school instructor for Shasta County schools. She was turning off of Loma Vista Road onto Churn Creek Road after an school in-service at Loma Vista School. a gentleman who had a habit of running from cops as a just as a weekend, a way to fuck around on the weekend.
A hobby.
A hobby. Thank you. Decided to run up, amongst other places, up Cypress. God damn it, Churn Creek Road at speeds in excess of 75 miles an hour. This was a 45 zone at the time. Jane was turning onto Churn Creek. Motorcyclists went flying by at 75. And because they were the speeds that everybody was going at, it's believed that she didn't see the lights before she turned right in front of a CHP officer. She was probably dead before her car stopped moving. Are you impressed?
Yeah, you actually managed to do that while remaining cogent and not getting digressed by any particular thought. I'm proud.
Oh, you spoke way too soon here, Squatch.
Okay.
So this incident actually by itself caused a nationwide firestorm. Squatch, you remember people screaming about high-speed pursuits back in '94?
Yeah, no, and I thought it was a good idea then too.
Yeah.
Batting the hatches, boys. Before this case was even finished, then CHP Commissioner Maury Hannigan, and I cannot pronounce his name correctly, issued a statement. Amongst other things, he said, when police stop chasing suspects, society throws in the towel.
Oh
I'm not saying don't chase them. I'm not saying don't catch them. I'm not saying don't arrest them. What I'm saying is do not drive through a school zone at 115 miles an hour with your lights on while expecting the person in front of you to drive better.
Oh, they're not going to drive better. So what are cops supposed to do?
They haven't been trained in pursuit tactics.
So what are cops supposed to do? Just let the guy run?
Yes.
Well, a lot has to do with this too, because you know what? Not every driver out there is going to be cool-headed, and all of a sudden you see a cop car coming at you at 90 to 100 miles an hour. You're going to have people in a panic.
I panic.
They don't know what to do. They have this bullet coming at them, and they're stuck behind a wheel, and they're frozen. They got these lights. They got kids out there on the street around them.
Exactly.
They don't know what the hell's what they're gonna do.
And their solution is to drive faster.
I was driving through Garden City one afternoon, just after dark, and I was coming up to one of those way stations, that are on all the interstate. And just as I'm getting to the way station, a state patrol van, full on Tahoe, pulls out, gets right in front of me and turns on his blue lights and then starts slowing down. He slows down. I slow down. Everybody on the interstate slows down.
Yeah.
He moves over one lane. He slows down. I slow down. Everybody on the interstate slows down. He moves over another lane. He slows. I slow down. Everybody else slows down. But he rides along for a while like that and then turns off his lights.
And takes off like a bullet.
Nah, he pulled over on the side of the road in the middle of the median.
What?
Yep, turned his lights completely off. And I went, dude, I was good with it until he turned those lights off. When those lights got turned off, it suddenly made me wonder, what the fuck are you doing over there hiding?
Yep.
It's called a rolling roadblock. When they see that,
you know what? When I gave
keep interrupting me.
Hey, when I gave that example, I didn't give it to give you as a solution is to not pursue the guy going at some rate of speed or he passed a stop sign. I wasn't giving anyone any kind of a solution. What I'm saying is what they're doing is wrong because it unnecessarily puts someone else into danger that does not need to be in danger. I'm not offering a solution here.
Because obviously I don't have a purpose for being here if I'm just going to keep getting interrupted.
Everybody gets interrupted on a panel. Yeah. It happens all the time.
I was just saying.
You usually live stream on, so you have a tendency of talking, which is what we're here for. So you're good. You're good, dude.
But Squatch, I've
Yeah.
seen two cops in the past 2 or 3 months almost smoke a car speeding for no reason. Like literally, like one speeding, no lights on. He had his headlights on, but he didn't have his lights on. Driving down a main road in Willimantic, not stopping at stop signs. He almost sideswiped a car literally right next to me, like to pull over a van up the road. And I literally ran up there. By the time I got up there, he was letting the guy go. Like, what did you need to get him for that bad? And I just saw one like 2 days ago. Dude pulled out right in oncoming traffic, almost got T-boned. Like, for no reason. No lights to go over the bridge and pull somebody over. You should have had your lights on. You would have been good.
Absolutely.
Did the vehicle have dash-mounted lights that you couldn't see from your angle? Is that a possibility?
Why would that matter? That car, oncoming traffic's not going to see that. If they're going to get T-boned, how are they going to see that?
Dash-mounted lights? Yeah, they'll see the dash-mounted lights.
Yeah, but you can't get out of the way of them. The thing is when this happens, they gun it and go and then start turning on all their noisemakers.
Yeah,
and stuff.
that's normal.
They do.
You're right.
Which they shouldn't even be doing to go over and then let the guy go or give him a $130 ticket. Like you're not saving anybody. You're not protecting anybody.
Right. I've got the data coming up. This video that I've got lined up over here actually goes into the percentages of different types of chases versus, what the actual suspect was suspected of. Because in a lot of cases, they die. They don't get a chance to go to court. They're never found innocent. They go to their grave guilty because they ran.
Or they're passengers or innocent people they hit.
Exactly. Or other people the cops hit.
Yep.
That does happen.
That happens too.
That does happen.
I mean, I'm just saying that I don't think there should be a high-speed pursuit situation instigated unless there is literally a rolling threat to public safety. Somebody, life or death, sweeping in and out of traffic, doing that whole thing, shooting out of the windows or something like that. Fine. Go get them, boys. Go get them.
And no assumption. You got to have facts.
But when you pull somebody over for window tint and they run,
you
didn't really have a reason to pull them over in the first place.
Oh.
Because window tint, I'm sorry, that's just a revenue generation scheme. That has nothing to do with safe driving at all. That's some crap they put in. That our neighboring town has like a 13% rating. Ours has a 23% rating. So if you get your windows tinted here, you'll get pulled over in the next county over.
That's crazy.
That's revenue. Revenue generation.
You don't have a single state law on that?
I think there's a minimum or maybe a maximum state law, but the individual municipalities have picked their own percentages.
Well, that's a very stupid law.
There's a lot of those.
Yes. Okay. That's fair.
You can't walk along on Sunday with an ice cream scoop in your back pocket. That's against the law.
Talk about that one later.
Don't ask me why. I don't know. Technically, you're supposed to tip your hat to every woman you meet on the street by law.
Everybody's going to jail.
All going to jail.
But everyone tips their hat passing a woman on the street. Come on.
Right. Everybody has a hat.
Who doesn't do that?
Someone I don't. With a hat.
People in Connecticut don't do that.
You sure it's not just your town?
No, I mean, I've never seen it done ever. I can't remember it. And I'm out all the time. I travel through the whole state.
Georgia's a lot different.
It is.
The South is a lot different. It's way up here is not like it used to be. Up here is it's trash.
I'm in Georgia.
I'd rather be down there, like
here
anywhere.
We have a bunch of old laws still sitting around on the books from like 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, So like there's another one. This whole mask mandate thing just kind of skipped over the top of Georgia and didn't land real solid because we had this little event back in the past. You might have heard of it, that whole civil rights situation, where we passed a law that says a group of 5 men in the street cannot be wearing face masks ever. Can't do it. It's
Yo,
against.
I don't. Hold on. How do I get back to you? Oh, right here. I don't want to interrupt you, but Brooklyn wants to come up if you want to let him.
Hey, if you got his email?
Is he in the chat? Let me send him a text real quick.
Yeah, hit him with it. Do you have the invite? I'll put it in private chat.
All right, do it. I'll copy it and I'll send it to him.
All right, giggity.
Good shit. I didn't see it. It was a couple minutes ago, but
oh yeah, he's been up before. I want to get him on his own show. He's got a couple of videos in particular I'd like to go pick on a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a busy man with this A1.
He goes out he goes out every day, I think. He goes out more than I do.
Yeah, he stays busy.
He's in it. He's doing the thing.
There's a lot up there though, dude. He told me there's precincts like every 2 blocks up there. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. I'm like, I gotta drive like 40 minutes now to get to a police station I haven't been to.
Right. Wandering hippie used to be the wandering hippie auditor. He told me that he had been auditing for 3 years and he had to drive 3.5 hours to get to a official building that he had not personally audited at some point in time or another. So
I believe it.
That's going to happen. The longer you do this, the further you'll have to travel. I advise getting a van. I am.
No, it's for real. People ask me all the time to go wherever they are. I'm like, I can't. I'm not in that position yet. But when I can, I'm definitely doing it.
Absolutely.
I'd love to. Like going to Long Island the other day, that was so different than down here. Like I feel like down here they would have whooped us. Like,
all right, I got it in the indie stream. That is AJOT. Remove.
What?
Okay.
You're removing AJOT?
Yeah, she asked me to. I guess that's how that works. All right, I'm going to try this. It might end everything.
Do it.
We still here?
We're here.
All right, we're good. All right.
It worked.
So you get the link from over there?
Me? Yeah, I sent it to him, so he might jump on. Yeah. I'm gonna tell him to come up.
All right, I'm gonna start this video up, and it's gonna give you some BS about ads and shit right at the very beginning, but there's not much I can do about it. The law was put into place because we had a very strong contingent of KKK in Georgia, and it was determined that you can't trust anybody if they're wearing masks. So we simply don't trust people in masks. So that whole mask mandate thing, it hit like Atlanta real hard, Savannah real hard, Rome pretty hard. The rest of us, most of us just went to work or fishing.
Yeah.
You know,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, that's still in half of the southern states.
Yeah, no, I believe it's also the case in Alabama and Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken.
And 2 others I can think of. But let's move on.
All right. This is V2, Vsauce 2. What's up, Cammed Up Caveman? Welcome to the show, bud. Liberty Blair, good to see you. Ryan, everybody. Awesome. But so basically, an overwhelming majority of the pursuit cases that take place typically involve people who have not been to jail. They haven't been convicted. They haven't been, you know, it's quite often not a felon who's running for his life. It's some kid that don't want to get caught with his mom's car when she was gone.
Yeah.
You know, or they're out there live streaming some crunk game.
Yeah.
You know how that. Either, if the cops didn't chase, they wouldn't run. They'd go a few blocks and slow down and try to blend in with traffic.
Yeah. They already know who they are.
Do they? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Well,
let's see. They can run the plates, and then if say it's not the people, whatever, then they get them next time. They still didn't kill a kid in the school zone or an innocent person. So I'm all right with that.
You to run the plates. Remember, this is driving and following you and trying to enter in your license plate correctly. How many?
It's their job. They do it all the time. That's what we pay them to do.
Every state has plate readers. Every state has plate readers now.
Yep.
But you're not allowed to use a cell phone, but they have a full-on gaming rig in their passenger seat.
Yep.
I don't get that either.
No, not only that, the plate readers are on most every bridge, and they're stationed throughout the entire city. Plate readers are every place.
Dude, we have plate readers. No joke. I have plate readers at my local trash dump.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first time you guys get a red light camera violation, I don't want to hear you saying that the plate readers are unreliable.
We didn't. That's not what we were saying. We're saying,
yeah, I never said that.
If somebody has a steep tint in their car, that the cop shouldn't chase them down to give them a ticket.
Yeah, well, I have some problems with that law in general, so let's get back to that in a minute.
No, I've been caught on one of those cameras before, and I got caught for not coming to a complete stop at a stop sign. I never denied that it was me. So, I mean, the point's kind of moot.
Well, in Carrie's mind, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say the most common defense to the stoplight, stop sign, whatever cameras is that's not me. That wasn't my car.
Okay. I mean, there's criminals in the world.
Yeah.
There's always going to be criminals in the world. There's always going to be liars.
Okay, well, I approve of speed check, right? I approve of speed check cameras. That's fine. I approve of license plate readers on bridges and whatnot at various locations on the road. That's also fine. What I don't approve of is a cop pacing you, estimating your speed, deciding you're speeding or whatever, and pulling you over. And then because the 12-year-old behind the wheel didn't want to be pulled over, he goes on a GTA run because he doesn't understand consequences.
How did the 12-year-old get control of the car?
That is the parents' issue and will be discussed by the cop whenever they go to the house to trace the plate.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
That has happened, by the way.
What's that?
I'm not calling you a liar. That has actually happened. I think the record right now is 7.
There was a 10-year-old who was famous for a meme. He stole his mom's car, took it on a joyride, crashed it. When they asked him why, he said, and I quote, "I just wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friends." Unquote.
What? Well, congratulations, kid. You've succeeded.
Exactly.
Achievement unlocked.
Mm-hmm. And no one hurt.
Well, yeah. Because to be perfectly blunt, a 12-year-old.
That's another good point.
My
man brought up drones too. Cops got as many drones as we do, right? Yep. And they could cover way more ground with drones than they can with that one big eye in the sky helicopter.
You can disappear from those drones faster than people can even say the words "disappear from the drone."
No faster than you can from the helicopter.
Yes, actually, a lot faster than the helicopter. Ask me how I know. After the stream.
All right, bud.
Yeah.
A drone could go as fast as a car.
Dude, drones are quick. Some of them are very, very fast. Bud.
Yeah, the ones that are like 10 grand, 13 grand. Yeah, they'll do 120, 150 miles an hour.
I appreciate you coming out, Blair. Good to see you, girl.
You know they're buying the most expensive ones they can find.
Absolutely. Every chance they get.
The limitation on the drone isn't just its speed. It's also what it can see, how fast it can move towards the thing. You've got a car going 70 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit on I-5, right? It gets up into that traffic and starts weaving in and out. That drone cannot track that car.
Oh, no, hold on a second here.
That's all I know.
No, you could get software and you don't even have to buy the expensive ones.
Dude.
You can put on your iPad.
Why can't wait? I want to know why the drone can't follow it. If the drone's just in the middle of the highway, and it's got a camera scanning the highway. It's going to see all the cars. It's not going to lose it.
Try tracking one ant in 1,000.
It's easy. They have software to do it.
I know.
It's common software.
You see what the drones are doing in Ukraine?
I would like to see this software. And yeah,
you could Google it. You could Google it, man. It's common software. It's not just hard to get stuff.
Don't play that. Just Google it game with me.
No.
It's not a game. You can do
I
it.
don't even appreciate it.
Level,
But did that to me a couple weeks ago.
the level of technology involved in modern drones exceeds the level of technology in most helicopters owned by police departments by an order of magnitude. You can have forward-looking infrared. You can have a sonar attachment that uses the prop sound to map the terrain below. You can get a LiDAR attachment. You can get all kinds of craziness, man. The level of technology we're talking about here exceeds the concept of your standard drone. These are cops.
All right. Well, I have never seen this software that supposedly
It exists. I swear to God.
I'm not talking about anything magical, and I'm not trying to send you on a wild goose chase either into some dead end definition.
Yes, you are.
It's easily looked up.
You're trying to send me off into this wild goose chase for something that doesn't exist.
No, that's incorrect.
Totally.
That's incorrect.
That's
incorrect.
There's frame centering software. There's stabilization software. There's number tracking software. There's facial recognition software. All of this is available for drones. There's color-coded software where you can link in a particular object to a particular color, and then it checks all the objects around to see if it's the same object. It's absurd, the level of observation these things are capable of, and the distances they can do it at. It is amazing and very, very scary.
Okay. Show me.
Why do you want us to work for you? Why can't you look it up?
Can I finish the thing I'm doing, and then we do it at the after dark?
That's a good question.
How about that? Let's do that. Car chases.
Yes.
Is that not a conundrum?
No.
I think it's a bit of a conundrum. I think it depends on what your threshold for this stuff is, right? So, like, some people are teetotalers and they want to catch every single criminal under every possible breach.
Yeah, those guys are idiots.
Yeah, and then you've got people who are like, okay, I just popped a copyright something or other. Did I just go down? No, it's interrupted a constitution state. It came in from you, bud. Hold up.
Me?
No,
What is it?
No. This is weird. I just caught a copyright something or other from
I'm going to
From me?
for a minute.
No, from Constitution State.
How'd that happen?
It says streams are interrupted when copyrighted content is detected. Your copyright match stream with Sasquatch shields Constitution State.
But we're still on.
Yeah, this is madness.
How did that? That's crazy. I'll
That
try
is
and fix
weird.
it. I don't even know how it happened. I've been on here the whole time.
But we're definitely off air, and I can't stop it from being a thing. They've just taken me down. There's nothing I can do about it.
Are we still live?